What's up, guys? You're watching Boy TV, and we are back with another reaction. Today we'll be reacting to Far Behind by Candlebox. This was suggested by a patron, so you know how to check it out. I am not familiar with Candlebox. If you are a returning viewer to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel a ton. There are 100,000 of you guys that watch my videos and return to my videos, but over 85% of you guys are not subscribed. I know it can be easy to forget because my videos just pop up. I do the same thing sometimes. If this is your first time to the channel, I am new to the rock genre, exploring the mini classic rabbit holes, having a blast. If you want to join me on that journey, take a second to scroll down, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on your post notifications so that you don't miss a video when I post. It helps out the channel tremendously. And if you guys are interested in exclusive content or you want to ensure that I react to your suggestion, definitely consider checking out the Patreon. The link will be in the description. I have tons of reactions to classic songs that got blocked here from YouTube, songs that I know you guys would enjoy. That being said, let's get right into this video.
Now maybe I didn't mean to treat you bad, but I did it anyway. And then maybe some would say your life was sad, but you lived it anyway. And so maybe your friends that stand around you watch you crumble as you fall to the ground. And then someday your friends that stand beside as you were flying, oh, you were flying oh so high. But then someday people look at you, they're what they call their own, they watch you suffer. Yeah, here you're going home. And then someday we can take our time to brush the leaves aside so you can reach us. Hey, but you left me far behind. Now, didn't mean to treat you so bad, but I did it anyway. Now I'm saying, but some would say you left with what you had, but you couldn't tell the pain. Couldn't share the pain and watch she suffer. Now maybe I could have made my own mistakes, but I live with what I've known. And then maybe we might share in something great. Won't you look at where we've grown? Won't you look at where we've gone? And then someday comes tomorrow, holds sense of what I feel for you in my mind, as you trip the fire line. And that cold day when you lost control, shame you left my life so soon. You should have told me, hey, but you left me far behind. Now maybe I didn't mean to treat you so bad. Oh, but I did it anyway. Now maybe some would say you left with what you had,
Okay, not bad song from Candlebox. I'll have to say stylistically, this is not my favorite type of song, but there were some things I enjoyed about this one. The sound of the guitar going dun na 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 na. That was a sound that kind of stuck with me. There were some other solid riffs on here as well. I would say like the last minute and 30 of this song was way more my speed. The intensity kicked up, it was much more hard hitting, so I definitely enjoyed that switch up. Overall, I get this song has like a deeper message, and that's why the tone was the way it was for the majority of the song. It was a particular feeling they were going for. Now let's check out the lyrics on this song. He said, now maybe I didn't mean to treat you bad, but I did it anyway. And then maybe some would say your life was sad, but you lived it anyway. And so maybe your friends, they stand around, they watch you crumble as you falter to the ground. And then someday your friends, they stand beside as you were flying. Oh, you were flying oh so high. But then someday people look at you for what they call their own. They watch you suffer. Yeah, they hear you calling home. And then someday we could take our time to brush the leaves aside so you can reach us. Hey, but you left me far behind. So man, some really deep stuff right here. According to the patron that suggested this is about a friend that they had that OD'd, and so that gives these words a lot of meaning. He's obviously feeling some remorse about how he treated this person when they were alive. Like he feels like he wasn't there for them in certain ways that he should have been, and he felt like a lot of people stood idly by while this person was going through these things. He said, I didn't mean to treat you bad, but I did it anyway. And then he said, some say your life was sad, but you lived it anyway. So this person went through a lot of turmoil, a lot of troubles in their life, which kind of led them to drugs, and drugs led to their ultimate demise. He said, your friends, they stand around and watch you crumble, and your friends, they stand beside as you fly so high. So basically his friends were seeing this drug habit go on, and they weren't intervening. They weren't saying, hey, this is too far, or you've gone off the rails. They didn't really confront this person about what was going on in their life. They didn't offer any advice. They didn't tell this person to slow down. They just sat there and watched this thing escalate over time. And here in these verses, he's calling out the lack of action by the friends. If they were good friends, they would have stepped in, long before this happened, or at least made an attempt to step in. Because ultimately, people will do what they want to do, but generally speaking, people are open to like you caring enough about them to try to help them if they see you, in trouble. So in that last section, he talks about the friends watching this person suffer, and then talking about brushing the leaves basically off of their tombstone so that they could have, an open line of communication, so to speak. I think it's more metaphorical, but still super deep. The chorus goes, now maybe I didn't mean to treat you oh so bad, but I did it anyway. Now I'm saying, but maybe some would say you're left with what you had, but you couldn't share the pain. No, couldn't share the pain. They watch you suffer. So once again, expressing a lot of regret for how things transpired, and now he's kind of reflecting on how lonely this person must have felt. He said some would say you're left with what you had, but you couldn't share the pain. So this person bottled up all the pain inside, and they didn't express all this stuff, and basically that's what they took to their grave with them. Maybe no one was checking up on this person, and they just didn't feel safe enough to just talk about these things. Then he said couldn't share the pain, they watch you suffer. So the people around him saw this happening, but they didn't act. They didn't do everything they could have done to, remedy the situation. So this person held on to all that pain, held on to all that trauma, and they tried to relieve it with drugs, obviously to their own detriment. Next verse he says, now maybe I could have made my own mistakes, but I live with what I've known. And then maybe we might share in something great. Won't you look at where we've grown? Won't you look at where we've gone? And then someday comes, tomorrow holds a sense of what I fear for you in my mind as you trip the final line. And that cold day when you lost control, shame you left my life so soon. You should have told me, hey, but you left me far behind. So here he's kind of reflecting on what could have been different in the situation. He acknowledges that he couldn't really relate to this person in that area because he hasn't experienced what they've experienced. He said, I could have made my own mistakes, but I live with what I've known. And then he's saying like, basically, if I was able to relate to you, then we could have watched each other grow from that circumstance. He said, we might share in something great. Won't you look at where we've grown? Won't you look at where we've gone? So we could have basically been tracking each other's progress as it relates to that situation we both had experience in. But that couldn't happen because he himself didn't have that experience, so he felt like he couldn't relate to his friend. And then towards the end, he's saying he wishes his friend would have told him more about the situation and how serious it was, and then maybe he would have took more action even though he felt like he couldn't relate. So the picture I'm kind of getting from this is that he knew his friend had this problem and that they were going through something, but he couldn't relate to it, so he didn't speak on it as much as he should have. But due to his lack of experience with that scenario, he also didn't quite understand the severity. So whenever they interacted, he kind of let that subject be something that they spoke about if they wanted to. He was really unsure of how to like broach the subject at any given moment. So he just left it up to them to like express it to him. So this is really deep and really introspective. Man, this is a really sad song. He's really like laying out his heart here. He knows that this person might still be here with a little more effort from all the friends and from this person. It was that lack of communication that kind of allowed this situation to spiral out of control. Because of how like far apart they were on the subject, either party would have had to make like a big leap to try to connect with the other person on this issue. And neither one did, so it was kind of left up to the odds. Some really deep stuff. This is a very heartfelt song. Great recommendation from you guys. If you guys have any suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy the content. And I'll catch you guys on the flip.